Hello, we're Wide Beam and Wellingtons, and welcome to our guide to buying a canal boat. If you've ever dreamed of life on the water or just fancy exploring the UK's canals, you're in the right place. Owning a canal boat is an incredible lifestyle choice, but there's a lot to consider before you dive in. In this video, we'll cover everything you need to know, from choosing the right type of boat to budgeting and essential tips for first-time buyers.
And welcome back to our channel.
Hello.
And Happy New Year. We are finally back on your screens.
Yeah, to give you another 12 months of... Sorry.
So we are going to dive straight into our guide on buying a canal boat for the new year. So first of all, we're going to go look at types of canal boats. So first, narrowboats. These are long and slim type of canal boats, normally around about 6 to 7 foot wide, varying in lengths. And these are perfect for travelling basically most of the UK. You can navigate most of the waterways.
And then there's wide beams.
Such as what we're on.
Yeah.
So they obviously give you a lot more space, but then you are limited in terms of what parts of the waterways you can travel. And basically, if you Google wide beam canal network, it will come up with lots of different maps of where you can travel. Then the next thing to think about is whether you opt for a traditional style of boat, which has more sort of cosy living area, or cruisers that have bigger back decks normally, which are quite good for socialising.
Yeah, I like them.
In
the summer.
Ours is a Euro cruiser, so that means, I mean, we're a wide beam, so we've got the space anyway, and we've got quite a large back deck, which is also good for socialising. And then the final thing to consider, well, not the final thing, but another thing to consider.
And after that, you're done.
Yeah. Is what type of engine you want. So do you want, like us, we have a diesel engine, or do you want an electric engine, which then has its own connotations, or hybrid?
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about money.
Oh, yeah, the good bit.
Yeah. So the price of a canal boat can vary a lot depending on its size, age and condition. So for a used, decent narrowboat, you're probably looking anywhere from 40 to 80,000. From, that is.
Ow.
Yeah, and for a wide beam, again, for something pretty decent, £100,000 upwards.
Yeah.
But buying the boat is obviously just the start of it.
Yeah, that's just the beginning of throwing thousands out the window.
You'll also need a budget for then ongoing expenses, such as mooring fees, which can be, again, depending on size of boat, anywhere from £300 to £1,200 a month, also depending on location.
Depends
as
where
well.
you are, I think. Yeah, Thames starts to get expensive.
It does,
I think
yeah.
there's some on the Thames, they're £1,500 a month.
Wow.
But it's the footprint of your boat, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the bigger the boat, the more you
The more
pay.
you'll pay, yeah. And then you need a contingency for maintenance, so things like blacking the hull, servicing, any upgrades you might want, DIY repairs, all of that type of thing. So especially if you're getting a used boat, you really need to think about those things.
Yeah, they're going to need to be done.
Yeah. So we would definitely suggest putting aside a contingency fund for anything that is unexpected. And in our opinion
Oh,
and
right.
experience, there's always something unexpected.
Yeah, but then it's just expected every month it's going to hurt.
Yeah. So there are like loads of brokers out there, people selling privately, all over the place for boats. So once you find a boat that you're interested in, then you need to make sure you really check it out, because there's not so much to cover people, is there, on buying boats as there are like houses, cars, anything else like that. So make sure you look for things like signs of damp. Like a big giveaway might be lots and lots of damp traps everywhere. I don't know.
Rising damp on the walls.
Yeah.
And blown out woodwork. Window frames.
Yeah, window frames, possibly under the bed, under the mattress, that type of thing. So make sure you really have a good poke around. We love having a poke around boats. Have a good poke around, and make sure there's nothing, you know, that you wouldn't want to see there. Then look out for any signs of like damage, any rust patches. Have a look at the engine. Make sure there's nothing obvious. You might not really know what you're looking for, but you know, any sort of obvious oil leaks and stuff.
If there's oil
like
in the
that.
bilge, if there's fuel, water, signs of rust all over the floor, you're going to see it.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically just get in everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Just stick your head in every single cupboard and all sorts.
Yeah, just make sure there's
Just
nothing that looks untoward. But then, before making any type of offer, we would suggest then getting a full survey. Yeah, it does cost you money, but in the long run, it could save you money. So before, parting with like your big chunk of cash, then get a marine survey. There are some boats do come with them, don't they? On occasion.
Some will have it taken out, re-blacked or surveyed, and then re-blacked and all done, and you'll get the report. So that's great.
Yeah.
If you're buying a boat and it's already got all that done and it's all signed paperwork, brilliant.
Yeah.
You've saved yourself a lot of time and effort.
Yeah. So a survey will give you a full report as well. So that's another good tip. So we get lots of people sort of asking our advice on boats and what they should look for and one thing and another. And it's always really difficult to answer people because it really depends. The biggest deciding factor is how you're going to use it. Is it just sort of, you know, a holiday home, if you like, in a marina, or are you going to be living on it? Are you going to be a continuous cruiser or living on it in a marina? It all sort of changes really what you want. But I suppose what we would say, unless you know for certain that you're really not going to go out on holidays on it, at some point, if you're taking it out, even if it is just a holiday home, but if you're taking it out for a week, a couple of weeks, then the things to consider are things like how big is your water tank?
Yeah.
How big is your waste tank, like your black water tank? How big is your fuel tank?
Yeah. You need to know all these things.
Yeah, because you know, they all make a difference on how many stops you're going to have to do along the way. What happens if that you were to get caught somewhere? So this year the river went into flood in September. So people got caught out.
A lot of people got caught out this summer, end of summer.
So the bigger any of those things are, is really the better, to be honest.
Yeah.
We would say, even if perhaps, even if you're moored in a marina, if you've got a pump out toilet, you've still got to get that boat to wherever the pump out is located in the marina, unless it's a very posh, snazzy one that has its own pump out.
Or mobile.
Yeah, or a mobile.
There's still a
one.
cost every time you're getting that empty.
Yeah,
you're paying.
Exactly.
So the smaller it is, the more it's going to cost you over the year.
So if you have an option, and if you're buying a brand new boat and you're having it built, then always we would say the bigger the better. We sort of learnt the hard way a little bit, didn't we? Because we didn't want to sacrifice some indoor space for a bigger water tank, but actually it might have been better. Now
Possibly,
we know.
but then it's just us.
Yeah.
So we do cope all right.
Yeah, we cope
Ours is
fine.
500 litres.
Yeah.
And we do all right, don't we?
Yeah, but 1,000 would have been brilliant.
Oh, we would have gone out for 2 weeks possibly
Yeah.
and not filled it up.
No.
Yeah.
So that's another aspect to think about. Most boats these days do have stoves like ours in the background there, and central heating systems. Do make sure they work before buying a
test
boat.
it.
Yeah, test it
I don't know if
out.
they test that in a survey, but I suppose you could request it, couldn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
know.
And then the other consideration is power. So again, if you're just hooked up to shore power all the time, then you haven't really got a lot of worries. But again, if you're going to go out on your boat, you might want things like solar panels. Now, Richard always recommends get as much solar as you possibly can from
If
the
you're going
outset.
for it, yeah. If you're going to go out and you're going to live on it and you're out, cover the roof.
Yeah.
If you can, as many as you can get on there.
Yeah. And possibly a generator as well, because obviously, I mean, today we're getting some solar power because even though it's really cold, it's a bright sunny day, but not as much as you would do in the summer months. And as you know, England has been very just grey recently, with no sign of sunshine at all.
Nothing. I've got it at work and nothing.
No.
The little light just about flashes, but it's nothing. So yeah, generator if you can.
Yeah. Another factor on facilities is what type of toilet you might like.
Toilet
the
talk.
big toilet debate. Pump out, cassette, compost,
Incinerator.
Really, we can't advise you on that because it's personal preference. We have a pump out and we have a compost loo. That works really well for us. The compost loo gives us more usage. Does that make
Flexibility?
Flexibility when
Usage.
we're out
We still use
cruising.
them.
Yeah,
same.
we use them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, if we can't move, then we've got the compost loo as well. So we're not relying on a pump out because, believe me, there's nothing worse
we had it
than
before,
being
didn't we?
stuck on your boat and your
Tanks full up.
tank's full. That's
Yeah.
not fun.
And then you're on your way to the pump out going, there's a pump out tomorrow, we can get there. And you get there and there's a sign on it, with the normal sign saying out of order.
Yeah,
and you're
that's
like,
not fun.
no.
Yeah, that's not fun.
You have to hold it in for another day.
Oh,
Possibly 2 days.
moving on.
Bush time.
So probably our final tip is just get out there and visit loads of boats. Go on loads of websites. A lot of places do virtual tours. Sort of get a feel for the type of thing that you want. We hired a narrowboat, but they are becoming few and far between now. That was our first sort of canal boat experience. And we absolutely loved it, but we knew that we just wanted a bit more space. So that's why we went for the
We kept
wide
going.
beam.
We saw one, didn't we? And went, that's what we want.
Yeah. But even now, there's probably things that if we were to do it again, that we would change now knowing what we know. So, I mean, walk along the canals, talk to boaters. They're a friendly bunch.
You'll end up talking about toilets.
Yeah.
Because everybody talks toilets.
But yeah, just really research, look around and take your time. Don't do it as a quick venture. It's something that needs a lot of consideration.
But you've got to definitely go and see them. Don't just look at pictures and go,
No,
I don't really like the colour of that. Because I can tell you, when you turn up and look at it, it's completely different to the photos.
Yeah, because when we do
really
our
is.
boat tours, often the photos online just it's nothing like it. Is
It's completely different, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't do them justice.
No.
We hated the interior of this boat when
we
we
looked on
first saw it
pictures and I was like,
online.
"Ugh, it's
We're like, oh,
horrible.
it's horrible,
Don't like it."
yeah. And then when we saw it in person,
It's
we were like,
like-
oh wow.
I didn't think it was the same boat. I had
No.
to ask them, is your pictures this boat? And they were like, yeah. It's like, really?
Final little tip, don't have too high expectations on how long you can go out, as in months of the year, to travel to use your boat.
Oh, on a river.
Because the sort of season, shall we say, seems to be getting shorter.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's still
great fun.
Still great fun, yeah. So hopefully you liked our ultimate guide to buying a canal boat for 2025. Like always, drop us some comments or ask us questions below. I'm sure
Ask
there'll be
Hayley
many
questions below.
Yeah, and then I'll say Richard.
And I'm like, nope, I'm working.
It's nice to see you all again, and obviously we still can't move. It's still that funny time of year, so we're not going to promise a weekly vlog, just in case, you know.
Well, we've got some stuff planned.
But we have got some bits in the pipeline,
actually,
so we'll try our very best.
We'll be out and about.
Yeah, oh, definitely, yeah.
But possibly in the car.
Yeah. And we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below with your questions or experiences. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, happy cruising!